What is going on, everybody? So I am back today to review a new Shudder original film, and it's been a while since I've talked about a Shudder original movie. There hasn't been a whole lot of new releases on Shudder, a lot of classic movies they've been updating on their streaming service, but I hadn't seen an original in a while, and so I was really looking forward to checking this one out. And this is actually from one of the directors who did a segment in one of the VHS films, and this is based off of the segment in the VHS film, but it's expanded into a full-length feature film. And the movie I'm going to be talking about today is Kids vs. Aliens. Kids vs. Aliens is directed by Jason Eisener. All Gary wants is to make awesome home movies with his best friends. All his older sister Sam wants is to hang out with the cool kids. When their parents head out of town on Halloween weekend, an all-time rager of a teen house party turns to terror when aliens attack, forcing the siblings to band together to survive the night. I didn't even watch a trailer for this before I went in to watch it. Most Shudder original movies I don't. I just look at the poster and click play and watch the movie. And I wasn't a big fan of this movie, unfortunately. I think there's some things that work really well in its benefit, but overall, as a narrative feature-length film, it's too inconsistent in the screenplay, and it really kind of speeds along in the third act to where it's like, okay, we need to rush and wrap this up, but it's only an hour and 15-minute runtime, so I'll get into it a little bit more when I talk about my full thoughts. So as the plot description says, you have this brother and sister, they make these home movies together. I really love the aesthetic that the film has. It's shot where this kid's shooting their film through like a home video camera while also being shot as a narrative film, so you're getting those contrasted looks, but there's a lot of really great splashes of color in this. The cinematography and the framing all look really great. It gives sort of the aesthetic of a movie from a different time period. This feels like an 80s film, or like an homage to like an E.T. or a Goonies, or one of these, like through the perspective of kids, but the kids are very foul-mouthed and funny. And I really liked the intro to the film. I thought that the director did a really nice job building up the dynamics between the brother and sister and these little kids, and these kids from school come over. But the thing that's weird about the movie is that these kids come over and bully these younger kids, which the sister is clearly very protective of her younger sibling and the friends. But this guy comes over and like acts infatuated with her, and he's a horrible human being, and she just immediately drops everything because she wants to fit in. And it's very cliche, but it's not written in a way that works very well. It's very like speedily rushed along, and it's very easy to pick up the male character's motivations in the first 15 minutes of the movie, so none of those relationships that are built up really pay off into anything. Once the aliens come into the picture, there are some really entertaining sequences. I feel like the practical effects look really nice in this movie. I love that the aliens are people in suits and it's not some CGI mess. I'm always thrilled when directors go a more practical route. It gives it much more of a charm and an entertainment value than just watching CGI aliens on a screen. And so all that, it's clear that these filmmakers have a passion for this type of a material. I just wish that it was accompanied by a better screenplay, because we get these characters in these situations of peril, but it's so rushed along so quickly that it doesn't sit with you long enough to really resonate. And I'm all for a quick movie, but like an hour and 15 minutes says to me that like we're uncertain as to how to make this short film that we had an idea for into a full narrative feature. So we have like sort of plot beats that we can hit, but once we get to the third act, we kind of just have to speedily rush it along to make it end. And that's where I really think the film falls apart, is that third act, when things really build up and you're starting to sort of get an idea as to what's going on. The way that the film unravels and ends, it's just like, okay, we don't really have any idea what we want to do, so let's just wrap it up and move on. And it's sort of a cliffhanger to where it's like, okay, will they make another movie? But unfortunately with these characters, there's not really all that much to grab a hold to want there to be another movie, in my personal opinion. I just didn't connect very much with them because of how cliched all the relationships were and kind of how overly hammy a lot of the dialogue was. But I did really enjoy the practical effects, and I think there's some moments in it that are really cool. I like the alien that had like the almost knife blades for hands. That was really cheesy and fun, and it looked really cool, and I liked all the looks of the aliens. They did a really nice job coming up with them conceptually. But for a film like this, especially one that's clearly trying to pay homage to that era of like the Goonies and E.T., very like Amblin films with Spielberg, where it's like we're gonna have these foul-mouthed kids that get into these goofy situations. If you're gonna do that, build a little bit more on the characters to where you like them a lot, in order for there to be a bigger payoff in the end of the movie. And I don't really have much else to say. I was just kind of let down by this one, but it wasn't the worst thing in the world because the practical effects were so entertaining to watch. So have you seen Kids vs. Aliens? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you thought. I was not a huge fan of this. I did really like the practical effects, but aside from that, I thought the narrative structure was pretty weak, and it could have been something really incredible. As always, if you can like the video and subscribe to the channel, helps me out a lot and lets me know the type of content you're looking for. I'm always putting out new material and look forward to getting more out for you in the near future. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.